Hi, Selene. Welcome to another episode of the Baddie and Me. I'm super happy to have you today because, like, you're an artist that I met on Lens, and your work it revolves a lot around, all the mystical things, and so that's why we decided to choose mystic as
Yeah.
the theme for that episode. And so, what are you wearing today?
If you're talking about brands, I have no idea. And I thrift a lot, so it's something like a velvet kimono kind of jumper. And this is my mother's necklace, like super vintage. It has runes on it. And it's just simple, like earrings and yeah, my hair and
Your
just
hair
some
is
makeup.
so beautiful. I mean, you look amazing.
Thank
And
you.
also because I don't see, like, there's not that many pictures of you online. So, I mean, I knew what you looked like. But now that I see you in real, like, it feels even like, more real. And you look so amazing. You're so pretty.
Thanks so much. So are you. I love the fairy vibe and how we're like yin yang of like mystical right now.
Yeah, totally. So I didn't know what to wear because, like, I don't really think of like mystical things when I wear clothes. But then I was like, oh, I have like some cute glittery things. And for me, like, mystic, it kind of like obviously reminds me of your work. There is very like eerie, but also it also reminded me of Mystic Garden, the marketplace that was
Yeah,
built
yeah.
by Devin. And I remember that it was very much like linked to nature and
Mm.
butterflies and everything. So I decided to wear this little like glittery butterfly clips and this like top that has flowers on it. So yeah, I think we're really like the yin and yang. But I wanted to know like what does mystic mean to you?
I think for me it's about the unseen. It's about more about feelings and intuition, and also it's about questioning reality and its rules and its conditioning. And it's a lot about being curious about the deeper meaning of life and maybe not so much the tangible. There is a connection, but it comes from like a deeper place. Like everything has a meaning, has more thought behind it, I feel. And it's a lot about symbolism as well about me. Yeah.
Okay, so it's very interesting because you're an artist, and I guess that obviously like mystic is part of like the themes that we find in your work. Maybe you could like introduce yourself and tell a bit like what you do and how did you become an artist and what kind of art do you make?
Mm. So I'm Celine. I am selling visions on online, and online I'm just Celine. It's just one Celine, so it was easy. So I am a 3D artist and designer, and I come like academically for from a graphic design background, but I've always been an artist since I was a kid. I was always drawing, painting. I've tried almost any medium, any artistic medium, and gradually around COVID, I I stumbled upon some tutorials that I liked that were on Blender on a 3D program, and I haven't stopped creating on like in a 3D space since then. Um, and I guess the themes I always like the main thing I always loved like drawing and painting and creating people. So I think this is still like visible in my works. I do like a lot of concept characters, and I also love um, fantasy stuff, which are interconnected with a mystic in my mind. And I just love to create um, new worlds, and to think that these characters are in like parallel universes, and I like to think of like storytelling and concepts which I have like so much to learn about, but this directions really excites me, and I also love to like combine a lot of ethereal and nature elements and mystical stuff to ordinary things, like maybe like objects and like more product design direction. Yeah, I think that's the main thing.
And is this like your job, or do you work for Celine or do you work for brands?
So I've been a freelancer. I started as a graphic design freelancer, then I switched to 3D. And for the last years, I've been a freelancer mostly for musicians or companies, and it really depends. Right now, I've been switching towards more commercial side, towards like product design, because freelancing is very brutal right now. I mean, if you have a more artistic expression, it always is hard. But yeah, in the past, I used to create a lot of stuff for musicians, for visuals for concert, video clips, cover EPs. But yeah, now I'm in a kind of in between place of trying to bridge everything I've done with this more commercial and kind of advertising kind of direction.
Because you share a lot about, kind of the process of the things that you create. And it seems like it's difficult and it takes also a lot of time. I mean, I've seen some of your works that are really crazy, like characters that you create, and the skin looks almost like real. And so I was really interested to know, like, when you came on Lens, did you find an opportunity to sort of like monetize your work, or was it more like, because okay, I mean, I saw that you sold some things on Lens, but was it like a revenue stream that was enough for you to kind of, live as an artist, or is it just like another income that is nice to have?
I think it's the second one so far, and I mean, compared to other platforms in Web3, Lens has been the most rewarding experience in all areas. I've met so many great people like you, made so many friends, and I've seen more interest in my work than other Web3 platforms, and it has also been like rewarding financially, but not enough to be able to sustain me fully.
And have you tried to also sell your works on other platforms like Foundation or like other marketplaces?
Yeah. I start my first minted NFT was on Foundation in 2021. It was when I joined Web3 and created an X account and all and everything. It was when the NFT boom happened, and at that era, 3D was very like the top medium in NFT. So I was really lucky to I have sold like my first NFT for quite a good price and quite quickly, but I think I wasn't ready for everything that was happening, so I didn't grind enough. I wasn't putting myself out there as much because I was like overwhelmed with everything that was happening. But yeah, I've tried other platforms. I've made it on Tezos, I've made it on Solana, and it has all been an interesting experience. Like I'll be honest, I've never been able to sustain myself fully from selling art. But that is okay. It's also like a very competitive market, and I know I haven't also I haven't dedicated myself there like full time, so it's only natural.
But is this also a project that you have? Is this like your goal to kind of at one point become, an artist that's able to sustain everything she does, like just by selling her creations online? Or it's not so much part of your plan? Like, what's your goal with your art?
Yeah, I think it was for a very long time, but um, after like really looking at everything realistically, I don't think it is. Maybe I'm too cautious. Maybe it can happen, but I feel like I have already spent enough time, enough years trying to do that, and it hasn't been um, like rewarding in a sense that it's so far it hasn't been able to sustain me fully. So I think, and I'm also someone who doesn't only focus on one thing, which is also a reason that things haven't been going super upwards. So I think my final answer is I'm not sure. It's one part of the plan.
But I think it's also, it's nice to test everything and try to also jump on some opportunities. I remember that you once created this super short, I don't know if it was like, can I call it an animated movie or something? It was for a contest with bonsai and golfers, I think.
Yeah.
And so I was one of the judges for this one, and really like I watched your short animated movie, and I don't know, the whole experience of the girl in the nature and the music that you used. I felt so much like I was traveling. Like it was so cool. It reminded me of watching like Mulan. You know the part when
Yeah.
she gets her dad's clothes and there's that music, and it's so like you feel so much like inside of the movie. I felt that. How did you find inspiration for that?
For starters, that means a lot. That's for me the biggest compliment I can get around my art. So thank you. But um, I'm someone who works intuitively, and once I get an idea, I just go. I don't stop. So um, it was also synced at that time, because when I saw the contest and the theme and like combining the Didi, the model of the Galvers and the values of bonsai, which are so close to my own values, it was also at the point that I started practicing Qigong, which is like it's something like yoga. It's like a Chinese practice, an energetic Chinese practice, which you move your body and you charge your energy, you change your energy. And I experimented with recording my movements, my practice, my daily practice on camera, and then I retargeted, like I copied, let's say, our movements to the DD model, and that's how the main idea started. I thought, because of the bonsai, that I had the idea that I could use her energy. I could visualize that with particles, like glowing particles that are moving and are helping the trees grow. So that was all the connection around that.
That's so interesting. And when you create a character and you have to make it to move, do you like? I heard that sometimes like 3D artists, they use this kind of softwares where you can kind of record yourself moving. But do you use that or do you make it like manually?
No, I recorded it, but it was a very different workflow that the ones we use as 3D artists. I experimented with a VTuber platform, and I find a very weird and unique workflow where I can send my movements from that app to Blender, which is my main program. But it does the same thing essentially, like it records the movements that are captured from the camera.
Okay, so let's say if someone who's not a 3D artist and wants to create maybe a character like moving, can they use like the VTuber app or whatever that was and just like make a drawing and then record themselves and it will move easily?
Yeah. The VTuber programs are much more beginner friendly. Anyone with a very small tutorial can use them and can see their movements on that app. So yeah, I think it's, even though it's not something that's very much explored in the 3D community, I think it's a nice way to start for someone who wants to do 3D Yeah.
Okay, interesting. I'll check it out. Like I have always wanted to try, like because I'm also an artist and I create like small like characters, but I don't know how to make them move. I tried like sometimes using like things like I don't know, like websites that are
Mm.
for like drawing, but it's not so much like doesn't work so well. So
Mm.
the
So you're
result,
talking about 2D, like
yeah,
the drawings? Yeah.
to
Um, yeah. So I think that for 2D there is a whole different workflow, which I do not know about. I think maybe with 2D the easier version could be like AI video. Um,
okay.
yeah.
Oh yeah, sure. AI nowadays with AI you can do like crazy stuff.
Mm.
It's so like crazy. But I was also curious about your references in your work. Do you find your references from like movies or artists? Do you have like specific references that you use all the time?
No, I don't have specific references, and because I work intuitively, if it's not for something commercial, I may have just a vague idea about what I want to do, and I just open the program and fully focus, and I am in the flow of creation, and it's like the art and the process is telling me what I'm doing instead of me telling it. But it's definitely influenced by me and my history and my feelings, and also the things I'm interested in. I have knowledge, which is like my biggest love has been psychology since I've been a little, but also later I've started playing around with divination tools such as tarot and astrology. And I think all this combined um, is like the final results. It's more like general channeling instead of like I do make mood boards if I
Mhm.
want to get a general feeling, but it's not something that I follow exactly like the whole image. I just get inspired.
Okay, interesting. So yeah, because I think like for artists, it can be very different. Like I know some of my friends, they have like super much like references of artists that they like. And it's not that they copy them, but they get like super much inspiration from them. But when I used to create more, I would just get like some ideas in my head and then I would just try to make them. But same, like I don't have like specific references like that. But I feel like references are also things that are in our brain because our brain has got so much memories from our life since we were small and everything that we see every day. And sometimes ideas can just like pop and then you have it visually there and you just try to like make it again. And
Yeah.
also, I saw that recently on Twitter, you were saying that you would like to share, a bit more maybe about the process of like how you create, how you think, and you were a bit unsure if you should do it or not. And so I was wondering, like, how is this going now? Do you think that you're gonna start maybe creating content online and show the behind the scenes?
Yeah, this specific thought process was mostly around like the in between space I am right now, which is I want to start focusing more on product design and more on the design field rather than art. Like I will always be an artist, and it will always have like an artistic expression, but I think um, because my identity, like at least publicly how I'm perceived, is an artist. I think it's just been hard to detach from how others perceive me and to just share a process that is so much different than what I usually do. I mean, my workflow is the same, but it's kind of in a different field or expression. And but yeah, my point is that I will do this because it's important for me to also perceive this as an exposure therapy, because I'm a very anxious person and I'm hyper aware, and I think this has been a block in my life in how I want to express myself. So I think I owe it to myself to just try and start being more transparent about my process and what is going in my life, and show the parts that I want to share with others and be able to connect better as well through that.
Like a digital diary.
So it will be more like, um, I have so many like series in my head that I want to express, but the most recent one, it's more about sharing the tasks and the goals that I have in a day that all owe to a bigger goal, which can be maybe become a better freelancer or find a job, to also hone my new skills in an area that I'm interested in, learning new programs. So it's more like sharing the transition that I'm going towards, and all the lessons and the struggles and the results, like the whole journey. I think for now is the, but it, of course it will also be like emotional and my thoughts. For me, it's everything is kind of like spherical. So yeah.
No, I see what you're saying and the vision. Like, yeah, just basically share kind of the behind the scenes and how you're thinking in your head. And actually, I think that's a really good idea because I think like what you said is really interesting. You said like people see me as an artist, but like they don't know so much about me, which is true because I've been following you for some time. And I remember that at first it was on Lens, like I saw you like interacting with me and I was like, oh, like this person seems to create some cool art. And you spoke a bit about, I don't know if it was like psychology stuff, but some things that were maybe related to that. And I think that I liked it. I liked that you were sharing things that felt intimate, but not 100%. Like it was an in between. And I think that if you could go a bit deeper in that sense, people would kind of connect with you more. Because I think you're a really cool person. Your art is super cool. And at the end of the day, there's so much like creators, artists, and founders online that I feel like we connect the most with people who share a bit more about, who they are and what they're doing. Because like as you say, maybe you want to tell that okay, you're a 3D artist and you've been struggling and this is why you created, but now you want to go more maybe in that direction. And like some people will relate to you and they will be able to kind of like follow your journey and learn from your like wins and other things maybe.
No, I agree. Thank you. That's very encouraging. It's funny because things in our head, we may know some things in our heads, but there is fear around that, and especially fear of the unknown. So it's like very empowering to hear it from someone that I admire. To hear these words. So yeah, thank you so much. I think I'm going to do this. But yeah, I think um, I've been someone that I really want to express so many things that are very vulnerable, and I do from time to time. So it's just I am trying to also work on my communication because I feel like I can express like 2% of what I'm thinking. Like I don't know how to channel it correctly with words, and that's why I'm an artist as well. I think I can express it more visually or audiovisually than with words. So this is also like a learning curve for me. Because I also want to like be able to communicate better so I can connect better with people, and share who I am and see who resonates as well, because that's so important too. If I can communicate easier, then I can find the people who truly are my tribe or whatever.
No, for sure. And I think that's an exercise that you have to do because it can't be perfect the first time, right? It's like there's someone on X who posted something about like, okay, when you go to the gym, you go there maybe first once or twice a week, then you go there maybe 5 times a week. but you don't see the result the first week, right? You see the result over the years. And I think like sometimes it's the same for like when we want to start something new or create content online, it can be super scary, especially if you're, reserved and anxious. You will always think like, is my content interesting? Are people gonna think that like I'm cringe or whatever? Am I gonna find the community that I'm looking for? And actually, I can tell you, like, when I started, I felt very like weird. Even when I started that podcast, I was like, I still sometimes can't watch myself. I cut a lot of parts when I'm talking, but then I feel like, who cares? Like everyone's creating content online and people don't think like, oh, what is this person gonna think? Am I gonna be perfect the first time? Like you just have to do it. I think at one point it's like just do it. Every idea that you have, just do it. If after
Thank you. No, I love that, and I love your mindset, but not only your mindset, because you take the action, right? Because otherwise, I think it's so much worse to feel regret, right, of all the things we haven't done. And I think most stuff are in our heads, right? They're distorting reality. There is also the spotlight effect. All people think we're being much more perceived than we really are, but the truth is we are all, not in a bad way, but we're self-absorbed. So everyone is thinking about themselves and how they're perceived. And even if someone notices something, and be it pleasant or not, it he will or she will forget it in like 10 minutes. It's like it's not a big deal. And even if we don't, like, yeah, truth is we shouldn't care. We should be open to feedback, but that's it. Only like as an experience and as a feedback. We shouldn't be like stopping ourselves from expressing whatever we want to express.
Yeah, exactly. I think that we think that people like care so much about what we do, but I think that at the end of the day, like most of the people don't care. And and anyways, I mean, if you want to live your life, just live it on your own terms. And I think that's the best thing to remember when you're scared. Because like I don't know. I've been so scared so many times, and then I'm like, I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm just trying to create what I want to create, and not everyone is gonna like it. Not, some people are gonna think it sucks, maybe, and who cares? Just do it and find your tribe, as you said, and I'm sure it's gonna become really cool. I'm here to support, anyways. Like so.
Thank you so much. You have already proven that so much. I mean, I won't expand too much, but you have been one of the two people that really hugged me when I joined on Lens. I didn't know anyone and anything, and you were like very established also on Lens. I think that's a rare thing. People who have a big presence don't take the time to care for small accounts. Like it's a big reality. So that was like I've always been like super grateful to you, and like it's been very helpful for me to try, especially like being more active on Lens. It made me feel very like welcome to be and post. So yeah, I just wanted to share that I'm very grateful about that and about your support.
No, thank you so much. It means a lot. And of course, like I've always liked to support, like for me, it doesn't matter, is it like someone bigger or smaller creator? Like as long as I can vibe with the person, like I'm always happy to support. And that, now that you're talking about Lens, so I wanted to ask you if, do you also have a presence on Firecaster?
Um, no, I always say I will, but I think I just don't know where to start, to be honest. I feel like a boomer in a forecaster.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, but I think it has been a growing interest. I really want to start being there, and especially I see you and other girls that creating mini apps and stuff like that, and that's all very exciting. So I think I'm missing on a lot of fun, creative, and innovative stuff that you are all doing. So I am planning to start being more active. I have an account. I haven't posted yet.
Yeah, I think you should try and be maybe more active because I feel like at the moment, like Farcaster is really active. And so I think we saw from Lens that, I mean, decentralized social platforms, they can be very like interesting for creators like us, right? Like, I mean,
Mm.
okay, yeah, we sold some art and that was really cool. Like, it's always nice to, make money as a creator, but also like we make a lot of connections, and I think that's really important. So that's why I wanted to ask you, like, do you feel like Lens has been like really beneficial for you, and are you planning to spend more time on Lens or Farcaster?
So I will start with something more general and it will be more specific. I struggle to be at too many places at the same time. That's a me thing. But yeah, I haven't been that active on Lens lately, and it's both because I'm going through a big transition, and sometimes I'm not even online at all when these things happen. But also, um, I feel like Lens has become like a bit more quiet, and it's not that enticing, let's say, for me right now, the phase that I am, to be as active there. But yeah, I am planning to become more active again, both on Lens, and I'd love to start making moves on Farcaster as well and meet new people and see what all of my friends like you are doing there. So yeah, it's definitely on my plans. I just need to learn how to juggle things better. I think that's my my issue.
Yeah, no, it's true. It has been a bit like more quiet, I guess, Lens, because of the like Lens chain, and there's been
Mm,
so many changes, I guess. So I guess that all the apps had to migrate. And of course,
yeah.
like when users cannot properly use apps, I don't know if we lost a lot of users, but many people have been really silent. So I
Mm,
understand like that you haven't been spending so much time there. But that's totally fine. I think it's also good to take a step back sometimes. It feels good. We're online all the time and it's
mm.
very hard. And so I wanted to also know, how do you spend your time when you're offline? What do you do that makes you feel good and helps you be like more creative?
Mm. So, are you talking on? Are you talking when I am offline or when I am off the computer completely? Because that's a
Yeah,
different answer.
when you're like completely off the computer,
Okay.
like
Okay.
your hobbies or things that
Yeah.
make you feel happy.
Yeah. Yeah. So definitely, I love to spend time in nature. So that's a very big factor that helps my mental health, helps my creativity. But I also like meditate. I read books. I think maybe the main thing that is always a stable thing is that I'm journaling. Different kinds of journal. It can be a dream journal. It can be just regular. I also, whenever I feel it, I try to play music, like improvising, and the other stuff are not that stable. I get easily bored, so I always try to find new exciting ways to recharge. But yeah, also like as a hobby in my free time, I study a lot about divination and psychology, and I analyze charts and I learn tarot. So yeah, that's a main a main interest of mine.
Yeah, but that's actually a big part of like your persona too, because you speak a lot about like tarot and all these things
Mm,
online too. And this could be also something that you could push a bit further, because I feel there's a lot of people, especially I think more girls for some reason, who are interested in all of these things.
mm,
And that could be one way for you to like find your community as well. I think
yeah.
you should take that maybe a bit further. And also you said that you play music, and so I was wondering like what kind of like instrument? Is it an
Mm,
instrument or like I don't know, on your computer? Because I think
yeah.
nowadays you create all sorts of music.
So if I just want to feel better, like empty my mind and stuff, it's usually more traditional. I have a classical guitar, which I haven't had lessons or anything. I just know some stuff that I have learned by myself throughout the years, and I just see what comes out of me, But sometimes I do like create some productions, but I think the main thing is that I sing, and that's it's very convenient because I don't have to even use like a musical instrument to recharge, and I think it's also very good to uh, claim like expand my space, that
Mhm.
like express myself. So yeah, because like it's not that easy for me to communicate sometimes. It's a bit I don't know how to express that correctly. It's very bold to sing. It takes a lot of space. It's loud, and sometimes I have issue with doing that. So I think it's also it's like a therapy as well for me to do this in many ways.
No, that's so nice. Like, I feel like you're actually a very like mystical girl. Like I see you and you look kind of like an elf. Like I can with your hair and your art and the music and you singing. Like I have this image of you that is very like a little fairy, which is really cute. Like you should play on that like image of yourself online. I think it really defines who you are. But I do get it. Like, I think singing is actually a really good exercise also, like for people who don't know how to express themselves. Like when I was younger, I used to do like singing classes and I was very reserved. And so, as you say, like when you're reserved and have a small voice and this, and you have to sing, and the teacher's like, okay, now you have to go louder. And it
Yeah,
feels a
yeah.
bit like, oh, like, I
It's
don't know, but then
overwhelming.
after the class, I felt very like peaceful.
Hmm. Yeah,
So
that's a great experience, and I think because you had like a teacher, it's even more therapeutical because it's also hard to sing with another person, right? Present. So yeah, that's amazing.
yeah, no, it's so nice. I love to learn all these things about you because now I can make an image a bit more about who you are in my head.
Mm.
And also I think it's cool. Like that's one of the reasons why I'm doing this like I don't know, chats or interviews
Mm.
because I feel like we are all connected together online like every day, but we don't know the person, behind their works or behind what we see online. And I think
Mm.
that's so important in a
Yeah.
way. And so I wanted to also ask you, like, do you have some projects or creators, artists online that you really, really like?
My favorite ever is Tiny Rainbow, who has also been on your podcast. Um, I love what she creates. I love how multi-talented she is, and in how many ways she expresses herself. And also I admire Edward with Miss Mere, and how he expresses himself so authentically. um, I have a struggle answering this because I have so many people that I admire that it's hard for me to just say them from the top of my mind right now. But yeah, there are many, many, many people.
It's a hard question, especially when someone just asks you like out of the blue. It's
Yeah,
always like,
I wasn't prepared.
but actually, I think like Tiny Rainwood, I always like, for me, you both have like a lot of similarities for sure. And like, I'm not surprised that like she's one of the artists that you really like, and probably vice versa. I think there's a lot of similarities. Have you ever met her?
No, but I really want to. I really want to meet her.
She's so nice. I think you would really like her. Are you
Yeah.
planning to attend some like crypto events this year?
Um, I wanted to. come to Lisbon NFC, and we have also talked with Tiny about, right, like that's a great way to meet her, but I'm not sure if I can do this year. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
we'll
I would
definitely.
love to be able to start being able to go to more events, because I also like what you're doing with your podcast. I really love to connect with people more intimately, and nothing beats real life. Like I'd love to meet you so much also. So yeah.
Yeah, hopefully they will make like a Lens event or something like that where we could all meet. It would be so nice.
Yeah.
Like we've been talking about the Lens Summit or something. I have to drink, sorry.
No, take your time.
My throat, I have been so sick, it's so annoying. But yeah, it would
Oh,
be so
sorry.
nice to like meet everyone. And I wanted to ask you if you like fries.
Yes, I love fries. In all shapes, in all colors, in all ways they can exist.
Okay, that's good. Is it something that people eat in Greece? Do you have it like really often with the meals? Because
Yes.
I know that like Greek, because my parents are Lebanese, and I know we have some similarities in the food. A lot of like small dishes that come
Yeah.
at the table. And in Lebanon, we always have fries.
Yeah. It's very similar here. And we always have many different kinds of dips, and it's always like a staple with meat and stuff like that. Especially if you go to like the restaurants here are about fishes and small dishes, and if you don't get potatoes, you will be like kicked out of the restaurant. So it's like they're
Yeah.
fans of Jessy.
Wait, once I went to this Greek restaurant in Helsinki, and they had one like small dish, and it was like potatoes, but not like fries, but kind of this kind of cut, maybe like triangles or cubes with some olive oil and spices. It was super good.
Okay, yeah, that's maybe it's because it's in Finland and it's a bit more.
Maybe.
Yeah. Here it's more like some people can eat fries every day with like eggs here, so it's like super common. We love fries.
I have to come back to Greece like
Please, yeah.
soon. How do you see yourself in the next like 5 to 10 years? And how do you want people to kind of like remember you? Not when you die, right? But like, how do you want people to think of Celine when they think about like who you are?
Mm, that's maybe the hardest question, because even though I like make plans about the future, it's like I my life always shifts, so I have no idea where I'll be. But I think apart from the art aspect, um, I'm someone who always expresses their opinion, and also around like mystical and spiritual stuff. And I think I would like to uh, be someone who has an effect on making people's lives better. Will not be something extravagant, maybe insights, maybe connection, but I think that's the only thing that is like the most important to me that I can think right now. The rest, I don't know, around achievements, I think nothing can beat um, impacting someone's life for the better. So that's the main thing.
That's so nice. And actually, I want to tell you because I think that, like you said that I supported you a lot on Lens, but I feel like you also supported me a lot. Like I remember when I would post, like at some point, I also posted a lot of like personal things and how I felt and dealt with the things. And you would always comment under my post and you would always tell me things that made me feel much better. And I think that goes also with the vision that you have. And honestly, I really, really encourage you to start like posting more online. And if you need like feedback or anything, you can always like send me like DMs on Telegram, or we can also have a group with girls and like help each other. Like I'm always happy to help because I think you're already doing a great job anyway. So
Thank you so much. That's you're so wholesome. Thank you so much for
No,
all the
it's
kind
true.
words and the support. It's like um maybe it's something that needs more expansion, and I cannot talk about that right now, but I've never had the greatest relationship with having like I haven't had a lot of woman friends. So like meeting you and Tiny and some other girls from Lens, it has really improved my life in that kind of relationships and made me feel safer in like female friendships, and feeling that I can be supported, and that I can support other women. So that's been very impactful for me. So thank you.
I'm going crazy.